okay in your excellent Bengals jumper. How are you?
Wonderful. Do you want to see the back, Hannah?
Always.
Always. Yeah, I'm obviously really sad about Burrow, and we are all wishing him the very best. Such an exciting season, such an exciting player.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't wait to see him again in 2021. We knew he needed better protection. We knew it. Let's talk fantasy football. Some huge performances in week 11. Some big numbers put up by Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen, which I know makes you very happy as a Chargers fan. We had a few Vikings up on the list too. Adam Thielen having a 2 touchdown day. Dalvin Cook putting up 160 yards from scrimmage. But I want to talk to you about their opponents in week 11. Those Cowboys surprised a lot of us, I think, with that performance on Sunday. And we had Zeke Elliott breaking 100 yards for the first time this season. CeeDee Lamb was making crazy catches. So I want to know, and this is partly personal because I have Zeke starting and I've got CD on my bench.
I knew it.
Are we all in now on these Cowboys, or do we need to proceed with caution a little bit fantasy-wise?
It was very encouraging what we saw production wise from them. We know Zeke, Tony Pollard didn't look bad out there either. And they were putting up points. They were moving the ball downfield. And whenever, you think of it from a fantasy perspective, you have to just look at schedule at this point in the season. You're trying to get into your playoffs and you're trying to win them. So if you look at their matchup on Thanksgiving night, that slate, of course, the Cowboys always play on, they face the Washington football team. So I definitely would start up your CeeDee Lambs. I mean, he didn't have a ton of yards or catches, but they're using CD all over the field, right? They're using him a plethora of ways. So that versatility, I think it was very obvious they were trying to get him the ball. He scored a touchdown, which was absolutely beautiful. It'll be on his highlight reel for years to come. So CD, I would play, fire up Amari, get Zeke Elliott in there. Andy, I probably wouldn't play Andy this week or any week, but I mean, honestly, against Washington, absolutely. They're able to probably put up points on the other side. It should be a high scoring affair. And then when I look at their schedule down the stretch, it looks like they've got San Francisco and Philadelphia in the playoffs. So love those matchups for all of those Cowboys.
This is good things for my team. Good things. We need some. Mentioning Thanksgiving, we've got 3 Thanksgiving games on Thursday, which means an opportunity to get a load of fantasy points on the board early in week 12. So aside from those Cowboy players, which players are you looking at to give you a good start and strike some fear into your matchup early on in this week?
Well, I'm very excited about the Houston Texans because you look at what they just did. It's one of those, it's a sad story that it's a lost season for this Houston team. They have Desean Watson, who's just a great quarterback. I know they traded away DeAndre. They fired their coach. There's a lot of ups and downs there. But he was the number 1 fantasy quarterback for week 11. He had 31.36 points if you play on NFL fantasy. I just hope that continues. I hope he keeps connecting with Brandon Cooks. What they did to the Patriots was sort of unbelievable, or something that we didn't think would ever happen up against New England. So to me, I'm looking at Deshaun Watson, 344 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air. I'm also keeping my eye on Juju Smith-Schuster this week. I'm watching NFL Network to make sure that he's okay, and Sky Sports, of course, because he wasn't able to finish the game on his birthday. They've got a big matchup up against the Ravens, round 2 of this matchup for this year. And I just feel like if Juju isn't out there, he's been targeted so much lately. Started the season slow, but that just means Deontay Johnson, and that just means that Chase Claypool are going to have these big games and so much more volume in this really important Thanksgiving matchup.
Yeah, we can't wait for Thursday night, that's for sure. Talk to me about Taysom Hill. Now, I know you're a Saints fan as well as the Chargers and the Bears. Love that you have 3 teams. I toyed with Taysom Hill on waivers this week, but didn't quite take the plunge. Okay. He had one of the top QB performances in terms of fantasy this week, in terms of, how much he's throwing the ball and also rushing for a couple of scores as well. Is he someone that people should be looking at for that QB spot?
I think if you play on a platform, NFL Fantasy doesn't do this, ESPN certainly does, where you can plug, for now, Taysom in as a tight end. Absolutely, he should be owned in 100% of leagues because you're basically getting a free play at the position. You can put in your quarterback, and then whatever quarterback points Taysom Hill has in your tight end spot, that's just a cheat code is what it is. As far as a quarterback, he should definitely be owned. He's got a matchup against the Broncos. Then guess what? It's the Falcons again. I don't know how long Drew Brees will be out, but if Taysom is good and they keep rolling with him, and I imagine that they will, I feel like he's earned that after this week. You saw what Sean Payton wanted to do. He wanted to use him all over the field and show that he has a nice shiny toy that he can play with and get the most out of. I think he did that. I would be a little, actually said this on game day morning on Sunday. a little worried if you play daily fantasy or Alvin Kamara might take a dip here, which we saw, right? Alvin Kamara has played 54 career NFL games. He's had a catch, at least one in every single one up until yesterday. So his production might go down just a little bit because I don't know that they're going to create things for him when you have Taysom there who also can run. It might ding that a little bit. But Michael Thomas, over 100 yards, he looked like the happiest guy on the field yesterday to be more involved in the offense. So I'm not worried about really any of the pieces, and I think you should own Taysom Hill.
Finally then, ahead of Thanksgiving, any players that you're particularly thankful to have had in your lineup through the 11 weeks we've had so far of the 2020 season?
I'm in 3 leagues. One of them, I'm in 4, but one of them I just never set my lineup. But in my 3 leagues, I have Alvin Kamara in all of them. So I will say number 41, I consider him the MVP. I think he kept his team going when Michael Thomas was sidelined. They had defensive pieces in and out of the lineup. And Alvin Kamara is a special player, a fantasy player, real player on the field. So I would say Alvin Kamara, maybe Mike Davis too. Mike Davis is another great one that came out of nowhere. I picked him up off waivers with the Christian McCaffrey news. And then he's really, really paid up. A little inconsistent as of late, but he definitely got me where I am.
I'm with you with the Mike Davis appreciation. Yeah, he's done a good job. Kept me less embarrassed than I should be with one of my leagues. Okay, great to speak to you and have a great Thanksgiving on Thursday.
Thank you so much, Hannah.